Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's session of What's in the Box, presented to you by Tatsoff. And I'm Harry McCullum, along with Mark Taccolini. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to try something a little bit different today. We want to give you guys a preview and sneak peek somewhat of the up and coming release that we have. That'll be in early October. It's our 9.2 release. And, maybe Mark, we just talk a little bit about, kind of some of the major themes. We'll continue to develop as a company around our major themes of being very open, flexible, powerful, and also affordable. But we're going to focus mostly on the open, flexible, and powerful things today. Any thoughts around just the openness, Mark, and how we, some of the specific features and development that we've done around just more connectivity to more systems?
Let's start with some good news. The 9.2 will be a minor release on top of 9.1. That means all users that they have license for 9.1 or they have the subscription plan, they will have automatically access to 9.2 release without the needing of any additional subscription or licensing. And what we did on 9.2 is on our 9.1 release last year, we put many tools to do the checkboxes that you described: open, flexible, reliable, and affordable. But when you go to develop projects with that new concept that we're going to explore today of unified namespaces, where you have many applications sharing data, it was possible to do, but some, frankly, little hard work in some scenarios. So in the 9.2 release, we create lots of tools to enhance the product in general, but more specifically to projects with that architecture, with lots of data exchange, distributed architecture, or integrating data from different applications. All that scenarios you can put very, very easily with the new tools in 9.2.
Yeah, the whole concept of the new asset modeling, or kind of the redoing of our asset modeling, and then what I call auto discover of different tags and different models within external data sources really gives us a much more kind of plug and play with many, many different systems. And then it gives us a mechanism to connect to pretty much unlimited systems. So
Yes.
it really opens us up further and gives our customers, our end users, our integrators, our OEMs, just powerful tools to build Industry 4.0 applications. I think it's some really good stuff. So
Yeah, in fact, in some point, should start calling 4.1
there,
because it's
yeah,
really new stuff that wasn't available before. And I'll try to explain what you call unified namespace before we jump in some details.
yeah,
Uh, on the old SCADA times, we have tags, and at some point we organized tags in data templates. That was great. But very soon with the 4.0 becomes the need to have strong asset modeling, where I have my organization, my machinery, my data, nice and beautifully organized in an asset model. And many vendors, they put great tools for asset modeling and many standards on that. But then the real world, a little problems start to happen. You cannot really put all data in one tool. To really leverage the 4.0 or 4.1 industry, you need to be able to have that data organization very easily going across applications, across networks, and making each components on that asset model very easy to add, replace, or modify without having to play around defining connections and bindings on all other applications.
Yeah, no, and the way we've implemented it, where we're not necessarily dictating the model.
No,
Right? We're saying you can have different models, and we can make use of the models you're already using. You know.
exactly. And because it's not the full release yet, just a preview, just the teasing, you can use our new asset modeling tool and all the definition of the assets be on external applications. And all the maintenance of that definition can be on those external applications, and not only one. You can use our asset modeling tool just to be doing the integration and keeping the asset definition in the remote tool. So with the 9.2 release, you can define a more strong asset model using our own tools. We did enhancements on that to our own support to create that models. But we also create tools to keep the data definition to its stewards, to who owns and manage that data. So you can do your application not having to replicate or duplicate. That's the data definition.
Yeah, I think that flexibility is really something that I know you're a big believer in, and I think that is one of the main reasons that people are using our platform, are going to continue to use our platform for some of these more advanced applications.
Yeah, and they're going to hear us a lot in publish our documentation, that concept of have a unified namespace across distributed applications, not no longer
Yep.
distributed networking. We have that also, by the way, but the challenge now we are working, the 9.2 was big step on that, is to allow that architecture to more easily connect across applications as well, not only network layers.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. You want to dig into any other? I think our major theme is around the unified namespace and the connectivity, um, more connectivity that we're providing in on 9.2. Anything else you want to kind of?
No, probably let's starting opening some of the topics
Yeah.
on how that concepts that are going to talk more about that concept in future videos. But let's see how that concept will be uh, implemented in that new release. So I'm going to share here some documentation that's not yet public available. It's our draft area connect with the 9.2 release. And you should be seeing now my asset modeling page, Harry.
Yeah, we got it.
Perfect. So those are five. That's not all that's in 9.2, but we did pick up those to be the top five items, all related somehow to that concept of the unified namespace and distributed applications. So what are those improvements? The first one is our own asset modeling. Uh, we had very good support for data templates. We could have a data structure inside a data structure, arrays. We're very flexible to define hierarchies, but regarding the tag itself, it was a single name. Could be a very long name, but the final entity had to be one name. But now all our tag definition can be like any asset model structure that allows to have the same tag name in different nodes on the tree. So we can have a tag called RPM under these nodes, and you can have another tag named RPM under these other nodes. So there is no longer any conflict on that. We can do the definition like that, okay? And the tools we had to add those namespaces, like copy and pasting, they are carrying automatically the alarms, historian, and some IO mapping configuration. So it's very easy to replicate those models and create your own project hierarchy using our own tools. Any questions on that, Harry?
No. I think that's
Okay.
pretty straightforward. Yeah.
And one thing that we still have, I will not go on details now, but we have an interface more typical to define our asset modeling, but we still have the configurations that we have in table style, where we list the objects, the type, and which level in the hierarchy that object belong. As you can see in that image, this integer tag, that's a typical developer name, is belongs to tags with the same name, but they can coexist because they are in different levels of the hierarchy. So we support the visualization and the editing of that asset model, both on the tree view and on the table view. And that's really very useful for reporting, data import, export, data exchange. You can apply filters. So one interesting thing about our asset modeling, it's not tree only like most of the asset models are. We have different views to that same information, okay? And by the way, on the scripting, even it's a composite name, we still have IntelliSense, so you can access that hierarchy very easily through the code as well, okay? But one thing that we did also, it's regarding that not all our tags will be here. So I will stop sharing the screen so I can face to face to do the next step. So those are enhancements our own asset model. But let's speak to the funny scenario. I'm doing an application in top of the TouchSoft framework, or some of data is inside one MQTT broker. And the definition of the data, the tag names, the hierarchy, that application or the owner of that broker is responsible to the maintenance on that hierarchy. That application will also get data from Canary Labs using some view that's managed inside the Canary application or by that group inside the factory. So when I'm doing my asset model, I could do old style like many applications still do, create my asset modeling, mapping to MQTT, mapping to Canary, or importing that. What's the problem with the old style, Harry, when we do that brute force mapping?
It's very rigid, very difficult to maintain, and there's a lot of issues with it. It can be a lot of issues with it.
It can be, because the things change. They will add one more element there. I have to redo on my mapping. So mapping is great in some scenarios that the data is stable or you know the data should be there. So if there is an error in the mapping, it's a good thing because the data should be there. So you want to know there was an error in the mapping. But for many scenarios nowadays, you don't want to do that. You want that this subsection of your namespace comes right away from MQTT broker, right away from Canary, and different pieces and parts from namespace. We are just browsing, using right away with no replication their data models and their hierarchy. So that's the concept.
Yeah.
So let's go back to view what we did. The same way you can have tags in this asset model, you can also add reference to external data providers. So if you can add, let me show examples of syntax here. You can add assets that are in another hierarchy, whatever that hierarchy is, MQTT, Canary, Control Logics, OPC-UA. You are going to support many hierarchies on that. And what does happen when he's going to expand these nodes, he will expand showing the properties on the remote assets, not from our own definition. So essentially that tree on the runtime will be dynamically created according whatever is that subset of the asset model there.
Nice. Yeah. So leave the data, leave the model in place, just really provide a window and then provide access to it for application development.
So one concept to be very clear in our platform now, when you need to connect to external data source, we have two ways, and there is no right or wrong. Depends on the type of the data, both are applicable. In some cases, you create a local entity, a local tag, a local data structure inside that softs, and you do the connection to read and write that data from its data source.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even import the definition, but essentially, after import that definition, I hold the keys for that definition.
Yep.
I have that instance defined in my tag model with my connection with the external data source. Or the second way, you can do assets tree, you can do displays, you can do alarms, mapping directly to the data that's outside without creating that soft tags, just using directly the data model defined in that other asset modeling tool. Okay. And what are the asset modeling tools? Can be many. Right away, with the release, we're going to support Canary Labs, OPC UA, another Factory Studio application, Control Logics with Auto Discovery, and MQTT.
Yep.
And there are more to come. Essentially, any application, software, or protocol specification or standard that can define tags or data structure can be included in our asset model. Okay. And frankly, to the people that are looking this presentation, if you know already tools that have like features like that, please let us know, because we believe that's really some new concept to be able to bypass tag definitions and use right away the data where it sits. I think we are really leading that new strategy. Okay.
Yeah, and I think, for sure, combining that capability with, the tools that we provide for application development is something that's fairly unique to us.
And what's the concept we have to create that was new? We have even months debating a name inside the company.
Yeah.
So on the end of the day, we finally select tech providers to that new concept. But it was many months deciding what to be, because it was a new concept. So tech provider, when you think about an obvious name, is exactly the concept we created to allow you define not communication drives anymore. We had that, we still have that, but that's on the past. The tech providers are the data sources, not only for the data, but also for the definition of the data, the structure of the data. We will create the application based on the information those external systems they are providing to us. So today it's not a training, but we have a new session in the software configuration around tags that are which providers are you using to give you access to their definition. Okay. And once those providers are defined, you can using alarms, display, store, and right away without having to do any importing or any tag definition. So that's the new concept for the ones that are familiar in our products. We added that we call tag providers. Let's keep moving, Harry.
Yeah, let's keep moving, Mark. That was that was
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So what tools we added? When we start doing that, it's great to have native integration with some applications. So in this release, we are doing a very powerful integration with Canary Labs. And uh, I will not go in all the details on that, but we are using API level communications of amazing performance. If you have a Canary application, we can go right away in top of that. And in 3 days from now, we repeat that on the end. We are going also to talk about the ability to embed Canary in our applications right away. But the details will be on the next presentation. Do you agree,
Yeah.
Harry?
Yeah. Well, we're doing a specific joint webinar live stream with Canary on September 1st as like the official announcement of our Tats Off embedded historian offering that we'll talk detail then and but look for that on September 1st. That'll be, we'll do a joint presentation with us and Canary Labs, and we'll highlight the features of the embedded offering along with we'll show the software a little bit and what you get and different price points and all that kind of stuff. So
Exactly. So Canary Labs is one of the tech providers we have, but in addition of that, we did specific tools to enhance the performance and give more options to work combined or in top of Canary Studio. We also did some very nice improvements around our MQTT, specifically the Spark Plug B supports. So we create a very nice simulation tool. So if I'm doing application that I need to create 15 nodes with 100 variables in each node, we have the simulation tools. We have an embedded broker. So again, on doing our development, we don't even need to use any external deployment broker because we have a full embedded one broker only, not only the simulator. So, and we did a specific interfaces to Azure. Azure is not exactly MQTT standard, they had some specific APIs. So we did that enhancements as well. And finally, we did lots of enhancements around our OPC server. And specifically, we did replace completely our previous OPC engine. We still will support to be compatible, but we have a new OPC server, a new OPC client using the most complete security standards on OPC UA. All new OPC UA 7 clients, much easier to do the configuration with diagnostic tools and securities. And of course, those things, all of them, they are connected. If I'm doing asset modeling, we can have the tech providers, the MQTT, the OPC UA, being part of this new tech provider technology. So all those things, they are combined together. Any comments here, Harry?
Just that we had gotten some feedbacks from specific customers around, taking our OPC UA technology kind of the next level. So we went out and found a good partner there and embedded their engine and built our connections around it. So it is just more, we've got easier to configure and more robust, I think is the big message there. And it gives us something to build on for the future with OPC UA.
Oh, and talk about one last concept, Harry, about being open. With this release, we have also a new open interface. So we can, and frankly, even another company can very easily add new new tag providers.
Oh,
If
okay.
there is a historian package or there is some sort of application that has some data modeling, with this release, in addition to those 5, 6 we are putting out with the release, it's very straightforward to add one more tag provider to this architecture we described.
Okay. Okay. So we can do those, and we'll have kind of a lineup of what's coming next. But we
Yes,
also provide an API for that.
definitely.
Oh, great.
And we have already, in fact, I'm not giving the hints today, but we have more two that are aligned to be put out right after the release.
Okay. Great. Yeah. No, that's good. I didn't realize we were publishing the API. So that's great.
Uh-huh. Good.
How about you want to say just a little bit maybe about the control logics?
Oh, yes. The control logics, which was not even listed on main topic, is very important because to be able to put control logic as a tech provider, we have to have a very easy way to do the inspection of the variables, the control logics. We had in the past the ability to read the L5K file and import the tag definition from control logics. With this release, we are doing one step beyond that you can browse the variables from the PLC memory. We don't need the L5K file anymore. We can connect directly and find what is on that device, including the UGTs, include the user data types.
Nice.
And we can use that interface with control logics, not only in that new tech provider feature, but also to help you to the configuration on our previous communication driver. So everything that we're doing right now regarding external devices, keep in mind we are going to have those two ways to access. We still will have the mapping, the device driver communication protocols
Great.
style
Yep.
configuration, and to some of them, we also will provide the ability to directly leverage the other application data. And controllers a perfect example because we'll be able to browse and do discovery in PLC stations right away doing communication with the device.
Nice. Yeah, that's powerful. That's good stuff. Yep. All right.
And Harry, I think it would be very good to point out that we're going to have two presentations with more details on that. One that will be in October when you do the full release.
Yeah, the 9.2 kind of rollout
Yeah.
where it'll be a little more formalized, and we'll show some of that off.
And there are some news there. For instance, one thing that's not even listed there, those tech providers then can be used as very easily as a historian provider right away. So when you talk about integration with Canary, not only will you have the embedded, but if you have a Canary, very, very easily, we can run in top of existing Canary systems as well. But for new systems, we have some news, Harry. Talk about now our events. What we are going to have for new applications. September 1.
September 1 is our announcement with Canary of our embedded product. That is our September 1 announcement where we'll let everyone know we're going to start to embed and offer the Canary historian as a option for logging data. So now right out of the gate with our software, you'll get an embedded Canary historian. So best
and
world
I
there.
heard a rumor in the market that to some number of tags, it's even free.
Yes.
Would that be true?
Hey, you're giving away all our secrets here, Mark.
I don't know. I heard about. If you want to know the true information, join on the conference.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, there'll be some level of tags offered.
Yeah,
free,
that would be very, very interesting, Neil. It's just not a marketing. There is some really good information that we're going to share on that conference.
Yeah, I think one of the other really exciting, so the included, there's going to be a certain number of tags included, which it's probably already out there. And then,
yeah, it is.
But I think the more exciting thing is you can go to an unlimited.
Oh, yes.
Unlimited historian, embedded Canary historian for a very affordable price, which we'll announce on September 1st. So
yes. And the other events will be likely first week of October, and we'll release the exactly date soon.
Yeah, we'll do the official. We'll have a date out there first part of October for the 9.1, kind of the first intro webinar, and then we'll do some follow-ons to that to dig in a little deeper to show you guys some of these features in action and give you a better feel for what you can do with them. So
I think that's good, Harry.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, thank you. And look for us in a couple weeks. We'll come out, we'll publish what the topic of the day will be. And 2 weeks from now, we're looking at September 8th. Wow, September already. So, okay, September 8th. We'll see you then. Thanks again, Mark. And
yes.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.